Have you ever stopped to question why certain struggles seem to chase you through life, shadowing your family's footsteps across generations? This isn't about bad luck or mere coincidence. It's about the silent battles waged from a realm unseen, where familiar spirits craft webs of repetitive challenges. These spirits don't just mimic, they meticulously study and replicate patterns of pain, loss or failure, whispering the same old stories of despair into new ears. The battle isn't with the flesh, but with echoes of the past that cling to your family tree, urging you to confront and sever these ties. Here are 7 telltale signs that you're under attack by a familiar spirit, seeking to navigate through shadows into the light. The first sign is the shadow of repetitive negative patterns casting a long, dark silhouette across your life and the history of your family. Like a broken record, these occurrences play out generation after generation, a loop of misfortune or missteps seemingly etched into your lineage. Whether it's financial hardship, fractured relationships, or health issues, the script feels eerily familiar, as if destiny itself has marked your family with a particular brand of sorrow. Defeating this cyclical curse demands a conscious awakening to the fact that you hold the power to rewrite the narrative. It's about seizing the responsibility that rests squarely on your shoulders to halt these patterns in their tracks. This isn't a battle waged with swords or shields, but with the potent weapon of your voice and the shield of your awareness. Actively opposing these generational echoes involves more than just recognizing their existence. It requires a firm, verbal renunciation of their hold over you and your family. Declare with unwavering conviction that these patterns end with you. This act of defiance isn't merely about speaking words into the air. It's a declaration of war against the unseen forces that have plotted your family's course for too long. It's a commitment to break the chains, to heal the wounds that have been passed down like unwanted heirlooms. By standing firm, acknowledging your power, and vocally cutting ties with these patterns, you light a beacon of change, not just for your own path, but as a lighthouse for generations to come, guiding them towards a future unmarred by the shadows of the past. The second sign surfaces as a palpable shift in your surroundings, a departure from harmony to a realm tinged with hostility. You might find yourself enveloped in a cloak of anxiety, struggling to latch onto thoughts as they scatter like leaves in a storm, or ensnared in a sensation of entrapment as if invisible walls are closing in. These are not mere fluctuations of mood or circumstance, but indicators of an environment contaminated by a presence intent on your disquiet. To disarm this spectral siege, the strategy is both simple and profound. Alter your immediate surroundings. This isn't about fleeing at the first sign of discomfort, but recognizing when your environment ceases to be a sanctuary. By physically removing yourself from the epicenter of this unrest, you take the first step in reclaiming your sense of security and peace. It's a deliberate act of self-preservation, a refusal to be a passive participant in your own distress. Coupled with this tactical retreat is the practice of mindfulness, a tool to recalibrate your internal compass. This isn't about emptying your mind, but filling it with an acute awareness of the present, anchoring yourself to the here and now. Mindfulness acts as a balm, soothing the frayed edges of your psyche and restoring a sense of equilibrium. It's through this practice that you can sift through the cacophony of your environment, identifying what is truly yours to carry and what is an imposition by unwelcome energies. By changing your location and engaging in mindfulness, you disrupt the narrative scripted by these hostile forces. This dual approach doesn't just mitigate the effects of a contaminated environment. It signals a reclaiming of your autonomy, a declaration that your peace is yours to curate, safeguarded by the choices you make and the awareness you nurture. The third sign manifests as a series of provocations designed to elicit a specific, often negative, response from you. These are not random misfortunes or coincidental annoyances, but calculated moves by familiar spirits aiming to script your reactions. You find yourself in situations that seem tailor-made to trigger your anger, sadness, or frustration, as if unseen forces are poking at your vulnerabilities with precision. Defeating this tactic requires a shift in your response strategy. The key lies in your ability to refrain from reacting in the ways these spirits anticipate. This is not about suppressing your emotions or denying your feelings, but recognizing the difference between a genuine response and one that's been engineered to fulfill a darker agenda. By choosing not to react, you effectively disarm the mechanism these spirits use to exert control over your emotional state. This approach transforms your interactions with these provocations. Each time you encounter a situation designed to unsettle you and choose not to give the reaction it seeks, you weaken its power. It's a practice of emotional sovereignty, where you reclaim the reins of your reactions. Not reacting doesn't mean you're indifferent or unaffected. It means you're making a conscious choice not to feed into the cycle of manipulation. By adopting this stance, you not only minimize the impact of these provocations, but also prevent the establishment of a predictable pattern of response. This disrupts the familiar spirit's strategy, leaving them without the leverage they seek to influence your emotions and actions. It's an act of defiance and strength, a declaration that you are not a puppet to be manipulated by the unseen. Instead, you stand as a beacon of self-control and resilience, mastering the art of non-reaction to maintain your peace and autonomy. The fourth sign is an insidious infiltration of your mental sanctuary by negative thoughts or emotions, meticulously placed to sow seeds of doubt, defeat, and unworthiness within you. This is no random cacophony of despair, but a targeted assault designed to corrode your sense of self from the inside out. These thoughts and emotions, alien and sharp, seek to chain you to a narrative of inadequacy, convincing you that you are less than, that you are incapable, that you are fundamentally flawed. The path to victory over this psychological onslaught is through active resistance and the power of your own voice. The first step is to recognize these thoughts and emotions for what they are: foreign invaders, not reflections of your true self. With this awareness, you arm yourself with the shield of discernment, identifying these negative intrusions at their onset. Challenging these thoughts requires more than mere dismissal. It demands a bold counter-assertion of your inherent worth. This is where the potency of positive affirmations comes into play. By affirming your value, your strength, and your capabilities, you not only reject the narrative imposed upon you, but also fortify your mental and emotional defenses with the truth of your identity. This practice is not a one-time act, but a daily commitment to nurturing a landscape of self-acceptance and love within your mind. Through the steadfast rejection of these oppressive thoughts and emotions and the reinforcement of your self-worth with affirmations and truths, you dismantle the stronghold of negativity, brick by brick. This isn't merely a defensive tactic, but a profound reclamation of your mental space, transforming it from a battlefield into a garden of peace and self-respect, where the seeds of doubt find no purchase and your true self flourishes, resilient and free. The fifth sign emerges as a subtle yet determined effort to sever your connections, creating rifts where there once was harmony. Familiar spirits meticulously orchestrate scenarios to foster misunderstandings and sow discord among those you hold dear, effectively isolating you not just socially but emotionally as well. This isolation is a strategic move, aiming to weaken your support system and leaving you vulnerable to further attacks, as loneliness makes the echoes of negativity louder and more persuasive. Combating this insidious strategy requires a conscious reaffirmation of the bonds that tie you to your community. The key lies in maintaining open lines of communication, even when misunderstandings threaten to wedge you apart. This means stepping forward with vulnerability to address issues head-on, rather than retreating into silence or letting pride erect barriers. By choosing dialogue over withdrawal, you not only disarm the spirit's attempts to isolate you, but also strengthen the foundations of your relationships, making them less susceptible to external manipulations. Seeking unity in the face of division demands a deliberate focus on common ground rather than differences, fostering an environment where love and understanding can flourish. It's about remembering the shared values and experiences that unite you with your loved ones, using these as anchors to weather the storms of conflict. In this pursuit of unity, you effectively neutralize the spirit's tactics, as each resolved misunderstanding and every moment of reconciliation is a victory against the forces seeking to isolate you. By actively working to maintain and strengthen your connections, you not only safeguard your emotional well-being, but also preserve the collective resilience of your support network. This approach not only counters the spirit's attempt to isolate you, but also celebrates the power of community and the indomitable strength of shared bonds, reinforcing the truth that together you are stronger. The sixth sign of an attack by a familiar spirit manifests as a perplexing stagnation across the crucial aspects of your existence. Despite earnest efforts and intentions, you encounter a series of unexplained hindrances that throttle your personal growth, sour relationships, drain finances, or deteriorate health. These blockages, invisible yet palpable, act as silent saboteurs, derailing your journey towards fulfillment and prosperity without a clear reason, leaving you questioning and frustrated. In facing these inexplicable barriers, the remedy lies in harnessing a force far greater than the malice directed at you. Invoking spiritual authority through prayer becomes your beacon of hope and your sword in the unseen battle. This profound act of faith and surrender calls upon divine intervention, seeking not only the dismantling of these obstacles, but also the bestowal of blessings that nurture your growth, heal your bonds, enrich your resources, and fortify your well-being. Prayer connects you to a wellspring of divine power, enabling you to rise above the limitations set by malevolent spirits. It's an acknowledgement of the existence of a realm beyond the tangible, where battles are fought and won on spiritual grounds. Through this sacred communication, you lay bare the struggles that tether you, casting them into hands capable of reshaping reality, hands that weave harmony from discord and abundance from scarcity. This spiritual strategy does more than confront the immediate barriers. It recalibrates your life's trajectory, aligning it with a higher plan marked by progress and peace. As you persist in prayer, maintaining a steadfast heart and an open spirit, you'll begin to witness the gradual lifting of these unseen burdens. Doors once closed begin to unlock, opportunities blossom in barren fields, and health and harmony are restored, testifying to the profound impact of divine intervention. The journey through prayer from blockade to breakthrough reaffirms the power of faith in navigating life's challenges. It's a transformation that not only liberates you from the clutches of familiar spirits, but also deepens your connection to the divine, guiding you towards a future rich with potential and devoid of invisible chains. The seventh sign is a chilling echo of past failures or missteps, repackaged as relentless legalistic accusations that weigh heavily upon your spirit. This barrage of condemnation seeks to anchor you to a version of yourself long past, casting shadows of doubt over your worth and progress. It's as though these spirits hold a ledger of your life, meticulously noting every error, only to use them as chains that tether you to guilt and shame. This tactic is not just about reminding you of where you've been, it's about preventing you from seeing where you can go, locking you in a prison of your own making. Defeating this onslaught requires a profound embrace of forgiveness, a powerful antidote to the poison of condemnation. This begins with the acceptance of divine forgiveness, a fundamental recognition that if the highest power has chosen to forgive and forget your past, no spirit has the right to contest that decision. It's an acknowledgement of your inherent worth, independent of your actions, rooted in spiritual truth rather than your shortcomings. Parallel to accepting divine forgiveness is the journey towards self-forgiveness. This is often the harder battle, as it demands confronting the harshest critic you'll ever face, yourself. It involves a deliberate decision to release yourself from the grip of past mistakes, to stop defining your identity by what you've done wrong and start shaping it by who you aspire to be. Asserting your identity in spiritual truth acts as a shield, deflecting the arrows of accusation and condemnation. It's a declaration that your worth is not up for debate, secured by divine decree. By standing firm in this truth, you effectively nullify the Spirit's attempts to claim any legal ground or authority over you. This stance not only liberates you from the chains of the past, but also opens the door to a future where your potential is unhindered by the specters of past failings. In the spiritual realm's unseen battleground, Christians must courageously accept the reality of evil spirits. These malevolent forces infiltrate lives and generations, planting seeds of discord, doubt, and despair. Acknowledging their existence isn't about succumbing to fear. It's a call to engage in battle, equipped with faith and bolstered by divine insight. Recognizing these spirits as tangible adversaries necessitates a well-crafted strategy and a deep spiritual response, marking the initial step in this warfare. Navigating life's complexities, the skill to identify familiar spirits' assaults becomes crucial. Skilled in warfare tactics, these spirits subtly transform your surroundings into a fertile ground for unrest and confusion. When isolation creeps in, or when endeavors fail, their influence becomes evident. Understanding these changes as strategic attacks empowers you to seek solace in prayer and contemplation, avoiding despair. A key to overcoming these spirits lies in not falling prey to their provocations. Thriving on predictability, they aim to elicit responses that further entangle you in their web. Choosing quiet defiance over confrontation disrupts their plans, rendering their tactics ineffective. This approach of peaceful resistance confuses and weakens these invisible foes. The enduring nature of generational curses showcases the persistence of familiar spirits, shadowing families through time. However, these curses, far from being unchangeable, can be broken through vocal opposition and intentional steps toward healing. By declaring your liberation and making choices rooted in truth, you dismantle the power of these curses. Angels, as divine messengers of hope and healing, play a critical role in this spiritual conflict. Contrasting with demonic forces, angels bring blessings and create opportunities that reflect God's grace in your life. Their support, though, hinges on your active engagement through prayer and faith, fostering a divine partnership that lifts you above the constraints imposed by familiar spirits. Obedience and faith are foundational in triumphing over these spirits. When divine guidance prompts you to act, even amidst uncertainty, stepping out in faith attracts angelic support and divine interventions. This commitment to follow God's lead breaks down the barriers erected by familiar spirits, ushering in blessings and a closer relationship with the divine. The path to defeat familiar spirits is challenging yet filled with divine assurances. It requires vigilance, bravery, and steadfast faith in God's ability to heal, restore, and invigorate. Standing against spiritual adversaries, remember, you are not alone. The celestial realm supports you, with angels by your side and God leading the way, transforming intended harm into a display of His enduring love and might. In this spiritual warfare, arming your heart with truth and your spirit with faith equips you to confront the darkness. Each prayer, act of obedience, and moment of faith is a step toward freedom, paving the way for untold blessings. Stand firm, knowing that in this invisible struggle for your soul, victory is not merely achievable, it's guaranteed to those who embrace their divine authority and believe. In the labyrinth of life's trials, the journey toward overcoming the shadows cast by familiar spirits stands as a testament to the power of unwavering faith and the courage to reclaim your destiny. This battle, though waged in the unseen, echoes loudly in the corridors of our everyday existence, influencing our thoughts, relationships, health, and prosperity. Yet, it is in the very heart of this struggle that we find the keys to liberation: faith, obedience, and a profound trust in the divine. I urge you then to share your tales of triumph and tribulation, to lend your voice to the chorus of those who have dared to walk through the fire and found solace and strength on the other side. Subscribe to this channel, join our community of believers, and together let us build a beacon for those still navigating the storm.